Hello and welcome to All Things Natural. This is Dr. Victoria Terry. I'm a traditional naturopath. The content in this podcast is for informational purposes only. It's not meant to diagnose, treat, or cure any ailment. Always seek health guidance from your qualified healthcare professional before beginning any health program. Today's topic is on emotions and organs and how they're interconnected. In Proverbs 139:14 and 15, it states it so clearly, the connection of our Creator to our whole being. It says this, "I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and I know this very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in secret, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth." Whether you're a believer or not has no bearing on the fact that every part of our world is connected. The fact is we are a being as connected physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Our emotions are connected to our body organs, and our organs are connected to our overall health and wellness. In other words, what you think greatly impacts the organs within the body, and when the organs are affected by the thoughts and emotions, our overall health is affected. Have you ever had so much stress in your life that you had a headache or stomach aches or even burning down in the pit of your gut? This is a prime example. I think we can all agree on that. In the world of Western or modern medicine, we tend to think in terms of a mechanical view of the body, kind of like a machine. We have symptoms, and a prescription is called in with our name on it. You could think of it as kind of like the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz, as if the oil can will fix all the problems. In the world of Greek medicine, as well as other traditional medicines, the internal organs are looked at as being strongly affected by one's emotional health status. A traditional naturopath, such as myself, specializing in wellness, educating my clients that by applying natural lifestyle approaches can act and facilitate the body's own natural healing and health-binding potential. I don't diagnose, I don't treat illness or disease, but rather I help my client recognize and understand that the majority of health conditions are based on cause and effect, a poor lifestyle. You may have heard or read that organs within the body are affected by emotions, and emotions can actually cause a disruption of energy flow, if you will, in particular organ or organs. So let me take a few minutes to just go through some of the major organs and kind of share some of the things that I've learned through the years, very briefly. The heart. The organ is sensitive to emotional status. You've all heard of the phrase, he or she died of a broken heart. The emotion of the heart can actually cause death in a person from loneliness. The heart is vulnerable and passionate, which can be easily agitated. The heart is sensitive to emotions such as courage and honesty and compassion, which can strengthen the heart. The negative emotions such as cowardice, timidity, guilt, remorse, or even deceit can weaken the heart muscle itself. The emotions of brokenness and hurt can even cause the body to flare up in a fever. Why? Because of the heart's vulnerability. It can become hot and turbulent, creating stress on the heart, which can provoke a fever. The lungs work closely together with the heart. Together, the heart and the lungs are sensitive and vulnerable in many of the very same emotional states. We've heard people say, give him or her breathing room in a crisis situation, right? This is because the lungs need space. The feeling of being smothered or noticed important play a huge role in the health of the lungs. These emotions can actually bring on respiratory weaknesses such as asthma. The negative emotions such as grief, bereavement, and even fear of loss can bring on shortness of breath, chronic respiratory diseases, and conditions such as COPD or even emphysema. The throat is the body's main communication center. It's connected to the inability to speak out or speak the truth. The common physical problems can actually cause the inability to speak, becoming mute. It is also believed, or even stuttering for that matter, it's also believed that most thyroid problems are caused from the inability to speak out with what's on your mind. It can cause a weakness in the throat, and the thyroid can be greatly affected. This is especially common in women. Because the throat is connected to the digestive tract, any type of tension, such as stress, anxiety, can agitate the liver. And knowing that the liver is the main organ in the entire body system that is the most responsible for keeping all the other organs intact, this makes sense. These intense emotions can be associated with the expression of, I have a lump in my throat. You see, when we stuff our emotions and feelings of sadness and grief and sentiment deep within, it increases the vulnerability of dysfunction, even disease. The liver and gallbladder. Bile is produced by the liver and stored in the gallbladder. It makes sense that these two organs are vulnerable to the negative emotion of anger, irritability, frustration, resentment, jealousy, and even envy. These negative emotions are stored in these two organs and can slowly fester. See, anger left unattended can easily become rage and explosive behavior. This causes physical symptoms such as headaches, migraines, red, sore, bloodshot eyes, muscular tension, especially held between the shoulder blades and lower neck. Other emotions of the liver and gallbladder are nervous emotions, such as tension and stress and worry. These emotions affect the liver as it turns into nervousness, colicky, digestive disturbances. This can also turn into a melancholic state. And a melancholic state is that of perfectionist or oversensitivity. If the digestive congestion becomes over melancholic, these emotions can very well turn into a hypochondriac state. Is there any relationship here yet? The stomach, this is the cauldron for emotions and very much connected to the abdomen, which governs the energy flow throughout the gut and belly. Emotions such as anger, hate, rage, frustration are all stored here. These emotions can lead to physical weakness such as ulcers, bloating, colic, gas, stomach aches. If these emotions are not resolved, they can become apparent in physical illnesses such as anorexia, appetite disorders of different types, giddiness, unending nausea, and even dry heaves. Intestines and bowels. Almost always, the intestines are emotionally induced and digestive disorders arise in the upper digestive organs such as the gallbladder and liver, stomach, and spleen. Since the duodenum is very close to the upper digestive organ, it's the most affected organ emotionally. The middle of the lower intestines are more affected by emotions of aggravation, producing colicky, kinks, obstruction to the flow of things. Where the colon is very sensitive to aggravation and that melancholic attitude, that perfectionist attitude. The emotions of insecurity is a big deal for the colon. These emotional disturbances may produce physical disorders such as constipation, irritable bowel, spastic colon, and other degenerative diseases such as colitis. The kidney is the emotion of fear. It's a fright, shock. These are all fear, fright, shock are all extremely difficult on the kidneys. They affect the sense of security and self-assurance. These emotions are closely connected to the kidneys and their balanced retention and release of urine. Extreme fear and fright, it could cause a loss of kidney and bladder function and can even result in spontaneous release of urine. This is especially true in those who have had losses such as widows. The adrenals, those beautiful adrenals. Sitting on the top side of the kidneys, these small, powerful organs take a beating from excessive stress. They are the fight or flight adrenal response organs. During acute stress and emotional outbursts of anger, the physical weakness may appear as weight gain in the lower part of the body, like the midriff, or cause an uprise of sugar levels. And this can become a real problem if the stress is unresolved. And since the adrenal glands provide the energetic support for the healthy urinary function, the health and vitality of the kidney may also be drained, which drains the effectiveness of the adrenal glands. We've heard of adrenal fatigue. Very much affected. I say all of this because many times we think that illness is just connected to something physical. As a whole person, in holistic medicine, naturopathic medicine, whatever you want to call it, we look at the whole person. You see, we are truly, wonderfully and fearfully made in every possible way. We're made to be balanced. So we have to look at the physical, the emotional, as well as the spiritual. Treasure your well-being as a beautiful gift from above. Matthew 6:21 has so much truth in it. It says, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Is your treasure in your health and wellness? Does this include your emotional state? If it doesn't, it should. We are a whole person. We are physical. We are emotional. We are spiritual. And when we are emotionally, physically, and spiritually ill, our organs are affected. We are what we think. Our common thought process has everything to do with what we think and how we react. If we practice positive thinking, we will induce positive results within the body system. If our main thoughts are constantly in the negative, we will also produce negative responses within the entire body function. Our organs, tissue, glands, and cells. We are greatly affected by the way we think and respond. I'm reminded of the scripture in Philippians 4:8. Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellent, if there is anything worthy of praise, think on these things. This is Dr. Victoria Terry, traditional naturopath, and until next time.